Apologies for 40k Monday, it didn't really work out yesterday. However, I'm back as promised with another 40k video, and today what I wanted to discuss and to give an overview of is actually potentially one of the youngest races ever in the Warhammer 40k universe. I want to give you a rundown of what they are, who they are, and then also more specifically talk about their physiology, as I find that the most interesting when I took a look at this particular race. So who am I talking about? Well, you 40k fans will know I am of course talking about the Tau. Now the Tau are known in their language as the Tau, are a young, humanoid and technologically advanced intelligent race native to the eastern fringes of the Milky Way galaxy. They are fighting to expand their interstellar empire and extend a philosophical concept that they call the greater good. This is something they wish to extend to all intelligent species of the galaxy and bring them into the fold. The Tau themselves claim to be a peaceful race where possible, and what they will do is actually ask the other races to join their cause voluntarily instead of fighting against them. However, much like any warfaring race, if their peaceful gestures are refused, they will then decide, generally speaking, to conquer the planet and add it to their growing interstellar empire for the greater good. And they are quite merciless in this action as well. They will sear the flesh from the bones of anyone who stands against their intentions. The Tau society is perhaps one of the most interesting. They are divided into a number of castes, each responsible for managing a specific aspect of their society. The Tau's central motivating ideal is that everyone in their empire, regardless of their species, will work for the collective betterment of everyone else, an almost mystical philosophy, again, which they call the greater good. The Tau themselves are the central race in the Tau Empire, and the overall empire itself is made up, of course, of several different intelligent species, primarily the Kroot of Pesh and the Vespids of the world of Vespid, and the nomadic Nikasa. However, they have crossed paths with the Imperium of Man, and several humans are now within the Tau Empire. These were, of course, derived from conquered imperial settlements who voluntarily then decided to join the Tau Empire because they were impressed by the concept of the greater good. These peoples themselves are known as the Gavisa in the Tau lexicon, and they are considered amongst the most vile traitors and heretics within the Imperium of Man. I started out by saying that this was perhaps the youngest race in the entire 40k universe, and they are relatively young. It has actually only been 6,000 Terran years since the Imperial Inquisitors first noted that the Tau had only just mastered fire and the wheel. From there, they evolved at a hugely rapid rate, and rather remarkably, they managed to make incredible leaps in technology, and now they represent a very real threat to the Imperial domination in their region of the galaxy, and of course a threat to all other races within the Warhammer 40k universe. But like I said, today I want to break down and discuss the Tau physiology because I find it to be quite interesting. The Tau's physiology is closely tied to their society, with the Tau of each caste effectively being a subspecies of the larger Tau race. This was initially a result of adaptation and evolution to suit the different environments each group of the proto-Tau species found themselves in, although interbreeding between the castes was later forbidden by the Ethereals. The Tau themselves are humanoid in shape, although they have hoofed feet and 4-digit hands. Their skin is blue-grey, although this can vary in terms of the pigmentation between Tau colony worlds, and this is of course due to the environment they reside within. The skin is a rough texture, leathery, and it exudes almost no moisture. Their faces are flat, wide around the eyes, with an eye-shaped slit running from the centre of the forehead, which would be the location of a human's nose. The Tau's vision is considered slightly superior to that of a human's. Their visual spectrum extends a little more into the ultraviolet and infrared wavelengths. However, their pupils do not dilate, which gives them a poorer depth perception and provides slower vision focusing reflexes than their human opponents. The physical strength and size varies between the Tau castes, with the Fire caste being the strongest of their kind. However, they are roughly the size of a normal human, and they are slightly weaker. This is because the Tau homeworld has gravity which is less than that of Terra. Only 2 female Tau have ever been illustrated. The first was Commander Shadow Sun, and she appeared to have a more human face than the male Tau, this being smoother and sleeker with larger eyes, a nose-like facial feature, and a Y-shaped facial slit. It is not known from this, however, whether Shadow Sun is representative of all female Tau. The second known Tau female, which does again lend credence to the fact that Shadow Sun may not have been representative of all, was a test subject of the Imperium of Man under dissection, and she had the facial characteristics of a male Tau. The Tau themselves do not possess psychers, and as a result they have very little knowledge of the immaterium beyond its existence. This gives them some level of resistance to warp-based powers affecting the mind, but it offers little, if any, protection against physically manifested offensive psychic powers. However, due to this, they are largely unaware of the perils of the immaterium, and for this reason, the Tau have conducted research into the warp on Medusa 5. However, the conclusion was reached that further research was unfeasible, and that the warp is no place for the greater good and is best left to those foolhardy races who cannot pull back from that terrible realm. The ethereal caste members also have a diamond-shaped bony ridge on their heads, and it is believed by the Imperial scholars that through this particular organ, the ethereals exert a pheromone-based or latent psychic control over the other Tau castes to keep them focused on the greater good. But, of course, this is mere speculation, and there is no clear-cut evidence of this as yet. Due to their notable absence of psychic ability, the Tau have no equivalent to the navigators of the Imperium. This limits their warp jumps to very short distances, or shallow jumps or warp dives. Their interstellar vessels therefore take much longer than Imperial vessels to traverse the vast distances between the stars, having to skim the surface of the warp rather than making extended long-distance warp jumps directly through the heart of the Immaterium. Tau warriors themselves receive very little training in the art of close combat. They usually depend on Kroot mercenaries to fight in the horrible melees so common in the 41st millennium battles. However, due to their superior range of vision in the electromagnetic spectrum and a predilection for patience, the Tau have proven themselves to be extremely efficient sharpshooters with the ranged plasma weapons they rely upon. The Tau themselves tend to look upon other intelligent races as backwards or misguided. Before the commencement of hostilities, they will almost always try to reason with their opponents and establish some kind of common ground and agreement that will make military force unnecessary. The noted exceptions to this policy are Tau battles with the Orcs and the forces of Chaos, with whom the Tau have little to no diplomatic relations. This is due to the fact that the Tau see no way to reason with them and do not want them in their empire. So, why do I find the Tau so interesting? Well, for a young race within the Warhammer 40k universe, they perhaps are some of the most wisest. Sure, they are looking to extend their empire and they are looking to pull people within the fold, but they will always offer the hand of kindness first, rather than merely taking an offensive stance. Due to this factor, I find them extremely compelling, and from here, I would say give them another 6,000 years and see how they develop and how they move forward. I always find it interesting to look at these fictional races with an air of realism behind it. And if we consider that they are so young, how could they become in 6,000 more years? So guys, if you enjoyed this video, please do give it a big thumbs up. I'm so sorry this didn't come out on Monday, but I was busy, I was driving, trying not to get myself killed in the snow that recently hit the UK. So I do apologise. But like I said, give it a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts on the Tau down below in the comment section. Are they your favourite race within the Warhammer 40k universe? And if they are, tell me why. Do you share any of my thoughts on them and the speculation as to what they could become? Please do drop your thoughts down below. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and check around my other content. There is quite a lot on offer here. And as always, I've been Mr. H. Until next time, I'll catch you in the comment section.